distance. Nice equal standing, feeling the four corners of the feet right now. So big toe mound, outer heel, inner heel, little toe mound, and all 10 toes in contact with the earth. And we're breathing. Okay. And just focusing on the breath. Where is it going in the body? Are you finding any stuck spaces that you need to encourage the breath to move past? Deepening till it just fills you completely. All right, and we'll add a little bit of arms to this breath, so palms out. Inhale, float the arms up, and wherever you land, bring your palms together and heart center. And so just keep coming up in a big circle, whatever big is for you today. Hands to the heart. It may be way up, and it may be in line with the shoulders. We're always just working with what our body is offering in the moment. And just one more time, keeping hands at heart when you land here. Inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to take hands down by the side. Take the legs a little wider. Let the knees and hips be soft. And for our forward and back spinal movements, we're going to be kind of rounding forward, bringing the hands down in front. They're probably by the knees here. And then coming up and taking the elbows back and heart shines up. So the elbows are by the waist now. So we're rounding forward and shining up. Rounding forward and shining up. Just a nice natural movement here. And then the next time you round forward, just hang out here and then let the legs start to straight, bringing hands back down by your side. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to take the feet back to hip width distance here and start waking up the side body here. So your right arm goes up and your left hand is by the side of your leg. And just start to extend that right arm any amount, pulling the rib away, your right rib away from your right hip without taking the shoulder with you. And then release. And reach up. Your arm may go straight, it may stay bent, whatever. Yeah, rib away from the hip and release. And now one last time, rib away from the hip, okay? And then we're going to actually tilt over to the left. Opening up that side body, come back, and lift, 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 and tilt to the left. And come back to center, and one more time, lift, lifting rib away from hip, and tilt. Bring that hard-working right arm down, shake them out. And we're going to take the left arm up, your right hand is down by your side. The left arm is traveling up, left rib away from left hip, shoulders away from the ear. Extend through the side body, wherever that is for you. Release. Extend again. And release. Extend. And release. And now we're going to take it over to the right. Over to the right. And back up and over to the right and back up and take it over to the right and back up and release that left arm down, shake things out, okay? And so from here, we're going to take the hands to the heart, the feet are planted, the toes are staying forward, and we're going to move the hands and the heart at the same. You guys have blocks, so let's grab a block while we're at it. This is going to help keep the hips forward. Okay, so just put your block in between your thighs, hands to the heart. So keeping the hips forward, just gently turn to the right, keeping hands on the heart. And come center, and gently turn to the left. And center. We're going back to the right. So all our movement now is through the torso, and we're not going far because we want to keep the hands attached to the heart. Take it to the left. And center. Take it to the right. And center. And to the left. And center. Now we're going to loosen things up, so put that block out of the way. Take your hands to your heart. Try and keep the hips forward. You just train them, but they, if they travel a little bit, then that's you. That's okay too. Take it over to the right and then extend your arms. And come back through center, hands to heart. Take it to the left and extend your arms. And come back center. We're going to do this a couple more times. Taking it over to the right, extend the arms. So the hands always start out at heart, stay at heart until you extend your arms or to the left. And center, think about your hip points facing forward to the right. Extend the arms and bring it in and to the left. And we're moving a little faster here, right? Because we are warming things up, but now we're going to turn right, extend the arms, and stay here. Turn your gaze towards your right. Turn your gaze towards your right fingertips. Was that an animal getting in your way? And then turn your gaze towards your left fingertips. That's what it sounded like. Turn your gaze back to the right, and bring your hands to your heart. Okay, we're going to turn to the left, stay here, open the arms, and take your gaze toward the left, and back toward the right, and back toward the left, and hands come heart center. Okay, so now with your hands at heart center and your hip points facing forward, your feet squarely under you, we're just going to start coming forward, keeping the hips over the ankles, and start to notice the backs of the legs. So go down to where you feel sensation, and then start to come back up. Okay, and we're going to do that one more time with the hands staying at the heart. Come down to where you feel some sensation. And come back up. All right, so we didn't do much to warm up the legs, so we're going to warm up the legs now with chair, and then try that forward fold again. Okay, so the feet are hip width distance, knees bend, hips back, arms up to shoulder height, and if it's you, arms up by the ears. Keep your arms wherever they need to be to avoid sitting, arching your back and dumping into your lower spine. Then stand tall, inhale, bring your hands down by your side and come back up to chair. Okay, so we're just going in and out of chair. Nice smooth movement. It could also be this, right? Really getting those knees and hips moving in a nice juicy way. Warming things up here, and then come to standing. All right, so shake the legs out, and let's see how our hamstrings are doing. Feet are back to hip width distance, hands are back by your heart, spine is long, we're folding right over those hip creases, hips over ankles, and come and start feeling your sensations. And so we're just observing, we're not trying to force ourselves to feel something or force any deepening here. We're just observing. Let your head be in one natural line with your spine here, and then slowly come back up. Feel how your feet press into the earth as you lift up. And just take a breath and think to yourself, how did that go for me? And let's do one more time, coming forward here. And then when you feel like you've gone far enough, you've got that sensation, that's as far as you're going, just drop your hands to your legs. Maybe they touch the mat right now. Maybe they're on your shins. They might even be on your thighs, right? It's your forward fold. And then bring your hands back to your heart, and with a nice straight spine, pressing feet down to lift up, come back up to equal standing. Hands by your side, palms forward, and you can shake those legs out a little bit. Okay, did that work okay? Everything moving here? Okay, so we're going to work our way down to the earth. And let's just keep that block nearby, just in case. Okay, so we're going to take the feet hip-width distance apart, float the arms up. We're not doing sun salutation yet. We're just going to fold forward now. It's a swan dive as the arms come out, and the hands can find the exact same spot they just found or a different one, but plant them somewhere. Put your hands on your thighs, hips back, knees bend, and heart shines forward. And then dropping the hips down, step back to downward facing dog. All right, your dog could be at a wall, hands on a chair or a counter. And when you get to your dog, go ahead and bend one knee and then the other, alternating heels. One heel down and hold. Other heel down and hold, waking up those feet and ankles, both heels down and hold. And then bring your knees down and come into a seated mountain pose. Take the legs forward. And let's give the legs a little shake while we're down here. Inhale and exhale. All right, so hip opening, yes, why not? Okay. But let's start with core rather, okay? So let's do that. And we're going to take it down for core. Okay. And take your right leg straight up. Your left foot is on the mat with the knee bent. Right leg is straight up. Point the toe. And then as you draw your right leg slowly, slowly down, lots of control here, bring your heel 3, maybe at the most 4 inches off the mat. Point the toe and come back up slowly. There's no momentum here. It's all control, control, control. Right leg down again with the heel flexed, and slowly up again with the toe pointed, and right leg down again with the heel flexed. And up again with the toe pointed. And we're going to do that one more time. Right leg down and point up. And now just draw that knee in for a moment and let the leg move around. You're holding on to your right leg, maybe at the shin, maybe at the hamstring. Move things around. Bring your right foot down and take your left leg straight up with the toe pointed. Flex your foot and control it all the way down. That heel is just skimming the mat here. Point the toe and come slowly up. And we go down again. And come slowly up. And we go down again. And come slowly up. And one more down again. And come slowly up. And before we bring the knee in, wiggle your foot at me if you're starting to feel any core action happening in your life. Good. All right, go ahead and bring the left knee in and let that leg move around, move around, move around. Okay, so that would be an excellent place to stay, or you might prefer to bring your left knee to tabletop now. I'll do it on this side so you can see the knee is directly over the hip. The shin and calf are parallel to the floor. And then, so this would be your left side, and then draw your right leg up, point the toe, flex the foot, bring it down. Okay, you might feel something a little different here, and you might feel like you would prefer to have your left foot on the mat instead, the way we just did. And continue. I see it. We're keeping it slow. So if this is making you want to do this, then bring your left foot back down and come back into slow, controlled movements. And last time, now you're going to bend your right knee, take the left leg straight up. The right knee is in tabletop, so same deal, right? The shin and calf are parallel to the earth, and your right knee is over your right hip. Point your left toes, flex down, point up. This is the alignment and the pace that we want. So if having your knee up is causing you to come out of alignment or to start moving so quickly through your pace that you're flinging your leg instead of using your muscles to bring it down and up, then just bring your right foot back down to the mat. We did that, you felt it, it's perfect. Down and up, and now bring both knees in and rock side to side. Whew, having fun yet? Anybody? Yes, you are, I thought so. Okay, I'll just answer for you. Take your feet hip-width distance to the mat, and we're going to start to do some work on the obliques. So to start with, the feet are hip-width distance and arms are out to the side, and we're just going to let the knees travel to the right and to the left, just a tiny bit. The feet are on the floor, it's probably not going to go far, taking your head side to side. And if you slow these down a bit, you're going to feel even more work in the obliques. So that's a way to do it. That's a perfect and fine way to do it. Now, if you want a little more, bring your knees in toward your chest and start to sway from side to side here. Okay, so we're only bringing the knees to the point where we can keep the shoulders on the mat, both shoulders on the mat, sway side to side. And then, if you want a little more, as you go over and find a side, extend your legs, bend your knees, and come back in. Take it over to the other side, extend, bend, and in. So any one of those three, knees side to side, knees side to side with the feet lifted. The first one was feet down. Or knees side, extend, bend, center, knees other side, extend, bend, center. Which is the best for you in this exact moment of your day, your life, your practice. Whew. And then go ahead and with both knees in, rock a little bit side to side on your spine. And bring the feet down. We're going to let the knees open and close, a little like butterfly wings here. Inhale and exhale. All right, so now we're going to do some hip opening here. Okay, so draw your arms and legs long. And then draw your right knee in. Your left leg can stay extended, or it might wish to bend. Hold on to your right shin or hamstring. left arm out to the side for a little balance, and let that hip open and close, open and close. Just opening up the hip. And now we're taking it back to the center, and go ahead and take your left hand to the outside of your right leg, right arm out to the side. Take that knee, your right knee, just past your belly button, and taking your gaze towards your right fingertips, let your knee come farther over to the left, and feel that lovely stretch in the left hip. And then come back center, release the right leg long, arms overhead, draw the left knee in, and holding on to the shin or the hamstring, right knee is straight or bent, your right arm is out to help keep you a little grounded, open out to the side and back to center with the left. Now come back to center, bring your right hand outside your left leg. This time the left arm is out to the side, and draw that left knee just past the belly button. And draw the left knee over as far as it wants to go. The hip could lift here. You gaze towards your left fingertips. And come back to center, extend, extend. We're going to do that one more time on each side. Bring your right knee in, left hand outside of the right leg, right arm out. First the knee comes past the belly button, then the knee comes all the way over. Release, unwind, extend, right arm long, left leg in, right hand to the outside of the left leg, left arm out for balance, knee past belly button, and knee farther to the side as much as it wants to go. Your gaze is past your left fingertips. Alrighty, come back to center. Extend your legs, arms long, draw both knees in, rock around a little bit, bring your feet down and come into tabletop. Tabletop, here we go. Okay, remember you can always have your hands at a wall, or you could just be standing or on your knees. When we do our push-up for the triceps, you could be doing them this way. Okay, so let's come into a knee down plank, and with the elbow creases facing forward, elbows back, push up, and hips toward heels. And work on that for another minute. It doesn't matter if you do one push up or 5, right? It's your pace that you're going push up and back. So maybe you found push up and you're like, okay, I'm going to hang here and then come back. You're always welcome to put your own spin, stop where you are and notice a little more. And then find your way into a nice child's pose with your forehead supported some kind of way. It's either in contact with the mat, could be on your hands. Maybe you would like to put a block under your forehead and super relax. And now we're going to find downward facing dog from here. All the variations, right? Which could mean staying in table or standing at a wall. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to just walk the feet up to the hands, keep them hip width distance as much as possible, so that when we get up to the top of the mat, the feet are hip width distance. If you need to put them back to hip width distance, go right ahead. And we're going to set the hips back, knees back, and come back into the chair. Arms are up. And stand tall. And release and shake things out. Okay, so inhaling and exhaling from here. Okay, we're going to do a little sun salutation and then move on to more balancing. So let's go ahead and take the feet to the top of the mat, hip width distance apart. Okay, inhale and exhale. All right, so somebody is going to be spending some time off the grid this weekend, and you guys know sun salutations very well. You do a lot of them. So I'm going to do one side with you, and then you're going to be on your own for doing sun salutations your way for a period of time, maybe a minute or so. So let's do one together just to refresh everything. Feet are hip width distance apart, arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Hands to the thighs, half lift, sinking the hips down and finding a lunge with the right leg back. Finding your plank, knees up or down, some other version, and chaturanga. And then just a simple back bend here. So maybe you love locust. Maybe you just want to do a little cobra. Release and find your way to downward facing dog. And we always want to take at least 3 breaths in down dog. Just land here. Feel the sensations of lengthening through the backs of the legs and lengthening through the spine. And then find any journey that appeals to you to get yourself back to the top of the mat for a half lift, forward fold, and upward salute. Float the arms out and up, palms touch, hands come heart center. And just keep moving, okay? Any version, it could be your version of a sun salutation. You could be moving into a different thing entirely. This is your practice. Just going to time you here. Not timing to see how fast you're going, just to give you some time to just work. Wherever you are in this sun salutation, take your time and finish it up. And we will meet back at the top of the mat in mountain pose, but finishing what you started. Don't have to stop and rush through. And as you take your mountain pose, when you get there, just cement this in, right? This is your practice. This is a sequence that you can do anytime, anywhere. Doesn't require any kind of being led through it. It's all for you. All right, so let's shake things out here and start to work more on our balance, because the moon is getting quite full, and we really want to be balanced for that. So I told you this was going to be a little challenging balance, and I also said we're going to do some extra twisting today. So let's go ahead and start with the feet hip width distance, and then cross your left ankle over your right. Now just standing here and fix your gaze and see if you can feel a little balance between both feet already to start. Okay. And then come to the other, uncross your legs and cross your right ankle in front of your left and see how this side is going. Yeah. And then uncross. Okay, so now that you kind of have a feeling for how both sides are acting right now, take your left ankle back across your right and start to slide as you bend your left knee, slide your right leg kind of catty-cornered back, so it's sliding toward the back edge of your mat if you're face forward. And then come back, just like a curtsy lunge there. And then we're taking the right ankle across the left, the right foot across the left ankle and slide back with this time the right knee kind of bending. And come forward. All right, so the tricky part of this is we're going to be bringing it into a tree, okay? And there's no reason that you have to come into a tree. There's no reason why you cannot be lightly steadying yourself or be near a wall just in case. Okay, so it's going to be left ankle in front of right, right leg slides back. Okay, and then we're going to take that right leg out to the side and bring it into tree. Fixing the gaze, yeah. And then release. Okay, left leg back into that curtsy lunge. The right knee is bent. Now we're sliding the left leg out to the side and smoothly into tree. And remember, tree, the toes can always be just pointed on the mat, pointed on the earth. And release. All right, how'd that go? You guys want to do that again? One more time? All right, second time. So it's more familiar, so who knows how it'll go this time, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take left ankle in front of right, slide that right leg back, left knee is bent, start to slide that right leg out to the side and into tree. And release. And now we'll do it on the other side, right ankle in front of left. The left leg slides back at an angle. Now it comes out to the side and into tree. Hands to heart. Or wherever you want your hands for your tree. And release. Alrighty. So now just take a moment by yourself. I'm going to give you a minute to work on balance. If you want to do tree, do tree. If you want to do what we just did, play with that. Okay? I'll tell you when we're halfway through, so you can either stay on the same side if you want to work your more challenging side the whole minute, or if you want to work each side. Okay? And go. Okay, that was 30, so go ahead and either stay on your same side or switch if you want to. We're halfway there. breaths. Absorb whatever sensations are happening for you. All right, and now just go ahead and move freely. See where everything is happening in your body right now. Look around, see if there's something in your space that you want closer by as we come down to the earth and work our way, starting to prepare for final relaxation. Okay? And when you've done all that, come to the top of your mat in mountain pose and tap back into the breath. See how your energy is moving, what's happening. And then as you're ready, find your way to down dog, okay? So you also know this journey, right? We reach up, we fold. We take a half lift perhaps, sinking the hips down, letting the hands come down to the earth and stepping back. Or maybe you go to the place where you are doing down dog now. Could be a counter or the wall. And we find a nice lengthened down dog with the heels pressing toward the earth. Whether they touch or not, they're pressing toward. Spine is long. And then we're going to let the body just move hips side to side, possible knees also. Okay, that was a bit of a slippery mat moment there. And then as you're ready, bring your knees down, sit off to the side, and come into seated mountain pose. Okay. All right, so the feet are flexed, the spine is long. Take your hands out by your side, palms face up, exhale. Now as you inhale, draw the arms up to wherever you're going with them and lengthen your spine, press your hips down into the earth, and then turn your palms out and exhale, release, continuing to lengthen through the spine even as you bring your arms down. All right, let's soften everything up and come into just a nice soft forward fold. Just release forward. And then roll the hands up the legs, bend the knees, find your way down to the earth here. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take both arms and both legs long. Inhale, draw both knees in for Apanasana, and then take Happy Baby, okay? So you might be holding on to your hamstrings, you might be holding on to your feet, and then travel, massage the spine, a little side to side here, along with a nice hip release at the same time. Bring your hands down by your side, and we point and flex the feet. And then circle the ankles one direction and the other. Drawing your feet down to the mat, keeping the knees bent, let the knees just open and close. Okay, you can stay here with your knees bent. If you like Supta Baddha Konasana with your knees wide open, if that's for you, you can do that. Any comfortable position here, and we open and close, wiggle the fingers. Stretching the fingers wide and long, so really putting some space in between, and then drawing back into a gentle fist. Rotate the wrists one direction and the other. And then bring your hands down by your side and gently let your head move side to side. Make sure the neck is happy. And coming back to center now, go ahead and scan your body. Do any realignment, any movement that needs to happen before you can be comfortable in your final relaxation. Get your body well positioned for a rest, conscious rest period, Shavasana. The most important thing we do in our practice. And then when you're feeling nice and settled, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, gently letting your body melt onto the earth. Okay, if this isn't working for you, then take any comfortable, could even be seated. Close your eyes if that works for you, or just try and defocus and just breathe in final relaxation. So slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Allow your breath to deepen. Gently invite movement back to your body, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. And as you inhale, take a nice stretch. Exhaling, draw your knees in and give yourself a hug. Finding your way over to a side. Stop for a moment here, take a breath. And then finding your way up to a nice easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.